Matters channel. As I promised, I've delivered. I told you I'm gonna be coming live to obviously talk to you, and I've gonna hit obviously fulfill this, and I've gonna hit obviously come live to talk to you in here onto the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we're here to obviously talk Joshua Zirkzee, Fullkrug, Edson Alvarez, Scott McTominay, Rasmus Hojlund in the mix, Yorke, one of the legends of Man United that was going to obviously surprise me to hint onto why United should obviously forego Zirkzee and obviously get in Fullkrug. And I was like, does this guy really have brains of the game of football, right? Yes, I'm just asking. What makes them think that experience is all about age? You know? Experience is not all about age. That is it. So every person who talks about Manchester United in as far as experience is really concerned doesn't know what the project is all about. This project has not gonna hit reach a level where experience is paramount. All you need at the club of Manchester United is to get in players that can fit into that club and grow for the next 3 seasons and obviously hit their prime together. Like we're gonna hit to see Arsenal and how they're doing their things. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And for the Muslims, we Barakallahu Fikum, and we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And let's obviously let's go mild. And let's obviously start it off with before you even start it off, you're going to talk about Scott McTominay. His team is going to hit to be knocked out of the Euros, and we are yet to obviously analyze what Scott McTominay is going to be planning this season or the all next season, because he's one of those players that I believe he should be sold and he should leave the club of Manchester United. Now, let's obviously start off with the Yorke, and let's see close to 300 likes much in this video, and let's start off with Yorke and his submission in there on Zirkzee. He says, Erik ten Hag needs an experienced man as a striker alongside Rasmus Hojlund, as he obviously struggled towards the end of the last season. Nicholas Fullkrug is one of those experienced strikers who has been smashing in goals lately, but he needs to be the right character, right? He added and said, Ten Hag needs an experienced striker at Manchester United alongside Rasmus Hojlund. That's what he said. And I've missed out on something. Let me try to get it. But he's like telling us to go ahead and really do things we're gonna have to be doing at the club of Manchester United. You understand? Erik ten Hag has been doing this. United has been doing this on a daily. You get? He has been doing this on a daily, and I believe it is really wrong for him as a former United legend to obviously come in through and really put out a statement like that, because it's a confirmation to me that he has not gonna have to be kept in sync with the club of Manchester United to know exactly what has been happening at the club of Manchester United. And I've gonna have to go into the live chat. I've gonna have to put a poll there. Who should United sign as a center forward, Fullkrug or Zirkzee? Go in there and obviously say something. And Yorke came out and said the following about Zirkzee, and I want to obviously disapprove him. He said, names like Zirkzee being linked to Man United is baffling. They need a player who can definitely score goals. They need someone who knows how to play in the English Premier League. Why would you need 23-year-old Zirkzee when you have a 21-year-old Rasmus Hojlund already at the club? Now, the first contradiction he makes is on the Premier League proven striker, one, and a striker who can really score you goals. Now, first and foremost, he's talking about Fullkrug. Fullkrug is not a Premier League proven player. Has Fullkrug gonna hate to play in the Premier League before? Let me check. Maybe I'm wrong, but he played for Forth, Nuremberg, Hangover 96, right? Werder Bremen, and Dortmund. And he's talking about Fullkrug, who is just 31 years of age. Before I even go on the age factor, let me first give him stats of Manchester United. 1. Manchester United has gone ahead to sign strikers recently who are of 30 years plus. We started off with Radamel Falcao, and you saw what happened. We had him in, and we had Robin van Persie as experienced players at the club of Manchester United and Wayne Rooney. What did we get? After that, that spell came to an end between United and Louis van Gaal. After that, we went in for Jose Mourinho. Guess what Jose Mourinho did? He brought in Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and I think by the time he was like 35 years of age or 34, and Kadabra came in through at the club of Manchester United. When he came in through at the club of Manchester United, he gave us one good season, scored 18 goals in the Premier League, and the next season he was off. Lukaku was really leading the line for the club of Manchester United. Did it work out? No. We went ahead and brought in another edge striker known as Odion Ighalo. You understand? Then after, we got in Edson Cavani under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we've gone ahead obviously getting strikers at that age. I think it was 3 times, because you brought in Edson Cavani, Odion Ighalo, and the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. Did it work out? No, it never worked out. Now, why do you want the club of Manchester United to keep doing things that have helped obviously go ahead and really not work out? So, I really believe some people don't deserve to talk because they don't know what this club of football is. And I'm open to an interview or a debate with Dwight Yorke on this issue, because I'm having facts that are really blotted into my head and mind that I'm going to throw at him and really tell him, do you know the player you're talking about, Zirkzee? Do you know Fullkrug? Do you know Rasmus Hojlund? We've gone ahead to bring in players who have experience, who are 30 years, and they are more proven than Fullkrug, and they haven't even gone ahead to score 30 goals a season. You understand? The best Ronaldo did was to score, I think, 24 goals. You understand? Edson Cavani, I think, scored like 23 goals. So I don't want him to come out and really speak out like that, because he's not so much synced into what has been happening at the club of Manchester United. We've been doing that. They've talked about experienced strikers, and do the team that won the Premier League 4 times in a row have an experienced striker for the previous 2 seasons? The answer is no. I think for the previous 3 seasons, they've not been having an experienced striker. When they won it in 2021, 2022, they had Gabriel Jesus, they had Raheem Sterling, they had Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, who are scoring in goals, and Kun Aguero rarely played. He was on the bench. You remember that very well. And they won that trophy. 2022 summer, they bring in Erling Haaland, who was by the time, I think, 22 years of age, and another player who was just 21 years of age, who goes by the names of Edson Alvarez. Ever since they've brought them in, they've gone ahead to score in very many goals, and they don't have the experience that this man is talking about. So when I tell you that some legends of United have gone ahead to lost touch with the ground of Manchester United and the happenings, you will really obviously understand what I'm telling you. Dwight Yorke is respected at Man United, came in through, scored very many goals, but he is obviously green about what he's talking about. You cannot talk about Joshua Zirkzee and Fullkrug and put them in the same statement. Kakuru Ivan, thank you for watching in through. Thomas Donka from Ghana, it's nice having you on the live. Then Kakuru Vian, thank you for obviously coming in through in here. And let me go to another update. Now, he went ahead and obviously bashed even Rasmus Hojlund, because his question is, why do you have 2 young strikers? And I would have gone ahead to pose a question to him that, why does Man City have 2 strikers who are really below 25 years of age, and they've gone ahead to obviously score very many goals in between them for the previous 2 seasons? They've gone ahead to play for the side of Man City. So he came in here and added and said, to be at United, you need to show resiliency and not a weak mentality. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson was good at finding. That's why I think Hojlund needs to grow up quickly. And He's talking about Rasmus Hojlund growing up quickly. But the goals he has gone ahead to score in his first season at the club of Manchester United, I think is the highest number of goals that Fullkrug has ever gone ahead to score in a league season in the Bundesliga. You understand? I'm going to show you the stats. Then Yorke came out and told us that the honeymoon period is over for Hojlund, and if he doesn't hit the ground running next season, he will come under out of scrutiny. You have to be a Man United player. So, who is really scrutinizing this guy? Rasmus Hojlund, in his first full season at the club of Manchester United, he scored 16 goals. You understand? Now, let's go to Nicolas Fullkrug. You get? Fullkrug, let's see. Let's start counting for him. Ever since he came in through to play into the Bundesliga. Now, when he was playing for Hannover 96, his best score in the league was 14 and 3 assists, plus 1 goal, right? And those were 15 goals, in a season. When he came in through and was playing for Hannover 96. Now, let's go to Werder Bremen. When he was playing for Werder Bremen, he played them for 4 seasons, and his first season he scored 4 goals, then he scored 6, and then he went ahead to score 16 in 2022-2023. You get? And he had 17 goals that season. In the season of 2023-2024, 2 matches, 0 goals and 0 assists. I think that's when he went to the side of Borussia Dortmund. At Borussia Dortmund, 29 games, 12 goals and 8 assists. Then in the Champions League, 3 goals and 3 assists. So his first season at Borussia Dortmund, he scored 15 goals and put up 11 assists. And he's not playing for a big club, because for me, I don't think that club is at the level at Manchester United. Rasmus Hojlund came in through the club of Manchester United. You get? Hojlund came into the club of Manchester United, never had a preseason, and look at his numbers. He played 30 Premier League games, scored 10 goals and 2 assists. He played 6 Champions League games and scored 5 goals. So he has 16 goals this season with like 4 assists. So how do you tell me that you can bring Fullkrug in the same statement with Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee? When he was in his young age, he couldn't obviously get in numbers that these boys are really getting in through, because these boys are getting in goals and numbers that this man never went ahead to put up. So, Mr. Yorke, go do your research very well. These boys are young. He's 16 years of age. He's 21 years of age, scored 16 goals for Manchester United in his first season, where most of the goals were created by himself. It was not a team effort. Most of the goals are not assists of Manchester United players. You understand? That is Rasmus Hojlund for you, and put respect to him. And next season he's going to prove you wrong, that he's going to go ahead and really score even 20 Premier League goals. And when he came in through, people were like, we want him to score 10 goals and just some 10 assists. It will be enough for him his first season. I told people my prediction is Rasmus Hojlund will go for 20 goals in a season for the club of Manchester United. It was less by 4, and that was because he came in late and he had injuries. But if I told the club of Manchester United had integrated Rasmus Hojlund early in that team during the preseason, I tell you, he would have gone ahead to score 20 Premier League goals. And this is what I'm talking about next season. He's going to lead that line of Manchester United. I know he's going to be given shirt number 9 of Anton Martial to obviously wear it. He's going to lead that line, and he's going to score 20 Premier League goals this season. That is it. Now, when you go to Zirkzee, he's the man who scored close to 12 goals a season in Bologna. You get? He's having the same number of goals, almost the same, like this guy went ahead to score for Borussia Dortmund. And he's just 23 years of age, and this guy is 31. So, a 31-year-old striker can only score 30 goals a season, and he has been playing in mediocrity teams. And Man United has one of the managers that we know is good at obviously managing young talent, and we all believe that this man is really going to be doing the best of the best to see to it that all goes on as well and planned. So, I think this man has a problem on his head, I'm sorry to say, but Mr. Yorke, please talk with facts and let them lead your your debate. I don't want you to be led by emotions. I know you played football like 2 decades ago, and you know to it that things are supposed to be going that way. Things have gone ahead to change. Nowadays, players are young and they're really doing the needful. Now, look at the players that are obviously topping the world. Tell me a player who is of that age that is really doing great. You know, young players are really taking all over the world, and those are things that they should admit, that the world has gone ahead to change and nothing is really going to come up and obviously put them down into the mix. So that is it coming in through from that man, and I felt like he is not right. He got nothing right. You cannot say that a 21-year-old striker, and I would like him to let me know. Let me see. Dwight Yorke. Dwight Yorke starts at Man United. You get per season. I want to know how many goals he scored in his first Premier League season, yet he was really playing in the Premier League. You get? Now, he came in through at Manchester United in 1997, 1990. So he came in 1998, 1999. He scored 18 goals, right? And he was in the Premier League. Then he scored 20. Then he had to score 9 the next season. And he played his last season at the club of Manchester United in 2021, 2022. Sorry, in 2001, 2002, and he scored 1 goal because he had gone ahead to fall out with the club of Manchester United, and that's when Ruud van Nistelrooy came in through and did the needful. So he scored all these goals. You understand? But Rasmus Hojlund came in through, and he's just 21. He was 20 and scored 16 goals. So how come he comes and obviously say all this to this young man? He should be supporting the lad and giving him the best that he really deserves. I'm having Kakuru VN. Those people who can't even manage League One teams these days, I hate their predictions on players. He's really on uninformed side of the club of Manchester United. I think he should better find a well-positioned side when he's talking about the club of Manchester United. You understand? Then Thomas Donko from Ghana. Greetings from Ghana. It's late here, but I just wake up. David, season with good and quality players which fit the manager philosophy. All right, that's what we also want, that the club should get in the manager some huge players that can obviously help him really get to the levels you want to be. Then Kakuru VN, these are people who never wanted Hojlund at Man United, that he was not finished article, not knowing talent is better than age. And he should also get to know that Man United's policy is making young players great. That's the policy, and that is the way United, or the philosophy that has gone ahead to produce the likes of George Best, the likes of David Beckham, the likes of Sir Bobby Charlton, the likes of Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Gary Neville. You get? Cristiano Ronaldo, come in when you're young, but you're really having huge potential, and the manager improves you to those levels. Cristiano Ronaldo, you understand? So, I think he should revise his notes, and he would have gone ahead to talk about other people. You get? If he talked about Victor Osimhen, I would have gone ahead obviously say he's right, but does United need Victor Osimhen right now? But amongst all strikers in the world, you talk about Fullkrug. Fullkrug? Oh my goodness. What can Fullkrug do at the club of Manchester United? You know, he stunned me, that is it. He stunned me, you know. For centre forward, to talk about Fullkrug, for a player that Dwight Yorke was, most of you might not have gone ahead to really watch this guy, but he had all the attributes of a striker. You get? He could take off players, had the skill set, had the energy, good in the air and good on the floor. He had all the attributes that can make a striker really good. So, I think he needs to revise his statements on Rasmus Hojlund in there for you. So, that is it coming through from the man himself, known as VN Kakuru. Then Kikwado Stefan Aradi, very correct. I'm tired of going for a quick fix. Thanks for your daily updates. I'm your number one fan from Nigeria. All right. Thank you for watching me from Nigeria. And I love you too, people who are watching me from all over corners of the world. West Africa, thank you for throwing the love in. Now, quick fixes have always gone here to become a problem at the club of Manchester United. And for everyone who is really thinking of making what we call quick fixes, I'm not on your page. We are not on the same page, and we'll never be on the same page. Let's get in these young players. Let's develop them, and we'll turn them into better strikers. And I'm really excited that we haven't gone ahead to be linked to grown-up players. Not really. I want those youngsters to come in through, and Erik ten Hag will best manage them. And let's obviously go to this question. Kakuruvian, it's better to tell us about Amrabat anytime from now. Yeah, Amrabat to Man United is really one of those deals that is really going to be made. The decision is going to be made very soon, as I told you. You remember, I came here and really told you something about the guy known as what's the name? Amrabat yesterday, and I think by tomorrow would have gone ahead to get a huge development about Amrabat to the club of Manchester United. And I think by the end of this week we'll be having a clear picture on whether United is going to be getting in Amrabat or not. That's what I'm really believing right about now onto the United Matters channel. But let's get into this deal to Manchester United that was broken by Fabrizio Romano last week. He talked about Edson Alvarez, and Play to Goal has come out and really added more beef to what Fabrizio told us. He told us that Manchester United have inquired about West Ham midfielder Edson Alvarez in recent days and have gathered information about the figures and his plans. His price valuation is estimated to be between 60 million euros to 80 million euros. Erik ten Hag has a high opinion on Alvarez, meaning that Erik ten Hag is the number one guy who wants this guy, and he worked with him at Ajax. We all know that, not so? And Erik ten Hag is pushing to obviously get him in because he knows how important a deal of such a player will obviously bolster our midfield. He has come in through to play into the Premier League, and he has been really very integral for the team of. He has been very integral for the side of. For the side of West Ham, and Erik ten Hag has been monitoring him, and he knows to it that he can come in through and really become that striker to do the needful. But the question is, 60 to 80 million euros, is he worth that money? That is it. Is he worth that money? And I believe right now, if you're going to get a player of quality like Edson Alvarez, you are supposed to pay that money. You are supposed to pay it, because they've just gone ahead to sell Declan Rice for 105 million pounds. And here we are talking about maximum or north of 70 million pounds. You understand? So I believe that we can spend that money on Edson Alvarez. Why? He's a Premier League proven player, and he won't need a lot of time to integrate the system of Erik ten Hag, because he knows what Erik ten Hag wants, and he knows what the game of Erik ten Hag really wants, and he has been playing for West Ham, and he knows what it means to play against other big teams in the Premier League. So Edson Alvarez for me is a good pick, because if the players that we want to sign like João Neves are going in for 120 million euros as revealed today to us by Jacobs Ben, can you allow us to spend 120 million euros for a player like João Neves? My answer is no. I cannot spend that on that player, because he's just 19 and he's a raw diamond that needs to be polished a lot. But if the other one goes for 120, what I do is I get in the 80, I pay it to West Ham. After paying it to West Ham, I get in Edson Alvarez. That is like 70 million pounds. If you pay 70 million pounds for Edson Alvarez, you pay like 60 for Gerard Braithwaite. That is 130 million pounds. Get in Zirkzee for 35 million pounds. That is 160 million pounds. It's the amount of money that we can spend really very well, because we have players to sell. And I told you that the deal of Edson Alvarez to Manchester United might be even made easier by getting Scott McTominay, send him to West Ham, right? He's valued at like 40 million pounds. This one is valued at 30, and you do the needful. All else, you can even take Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, send them down to West Ham and get in Edson Alvarez. That is it. Because you would have gone ahead to save money, that would have gone ahead obviously getting that player, and you get in Edson Alvarez, who's going to come in through and compete in that midfield. Meaning that you'll be wanting to get in an Amrabat to obviously compete with him in that central defensive midfield. Then you get in 2 central defenders, depending on to whether United sells Victor. Depending on to whether United sells a player called Victor Lindelof, right? So, to my understanding, I think what we should do is simple. Let's obviously get in the players that are really perfect for the job. You get? And there are very many reasons as to why this deal can be made easily at Manchester United. Let's all admit, Edson Alvarez price, you do a swap, give them to players, and obviously have this guy in. That is the man I'm talking about, Edson Alvarez. So for me, 60 to 80 million euros, I know they can negotiate it down, but I know West Ham, they're really stubborn because they've just gone ahead to get in money, and they have very many players that can come in through and obviously do the needful in there for you. So the price is 80 to, it's between 60 to 80 million euros. That means they can take in 60 and obviously making some huge profit. And let me see his transfer fee. Transfer fee from Ajax. I really want to get to know how much it costed the side of West Ham to bring him to the side of the Premier League, and they paid 35.4 million pounds, right? And remember, to bring him in, they had already gone ahead to sell Declan Rice 105 million pounds. That was pure profit because they got that player from Chelsea and took him into the academy. You understand? So that is it. So if they are selling, if they bought him for 35.4 and they want like 60 million pounds or 70, for me it's not bad, because if we went ahead and obviously signed Casemiro for 70, why not spend another 70 to obviously get this guy in and move on Casemiro, even if we get in like 40 million pounds for Casemiro, you know, and then do a top up and really get in this guy. Because the other deal of really putting Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay as a double make weight to really get these players in might not really work out perfectly, and we might find ourselves in a situation of really getting in Casemiro money like 30 to 40, let me say 40 million pounds from Saudi Arabia, add on 30 and get in the guy. Simple, you know. And I don't want United to make these things hard. Let's really see to it that we use this 1 week to obviously point out the priorities that we're looking at. Like last season, however much we need to eat that, it's going to take long, but we need to eat that. The number 1 choice goalkeeper to come into the club of Manchester United, Andre Onana. Midfielders that we are targeting, Amrabat and Mason Mount. The striker was Rasmus Hojlund. It was in the replacement of David De Gea that we are not really very certain of. That is it. For the replacement of David De Gea, we are not certain about it. You remember that very well. But for the rest of the things, we need to eat that. Onana, Mount, they came in early. Rasmus Hojlund came in. Amrabat came in. Atil Beyinder came in through. So all I want to hear is that United has gone ahead to make a decision on the players they want to sign. Gerard Braithwaite, maybe Alvarez, Amrabat, and Zirkzee. Period. That's what I want. To see to it that we are chasing in for those, and I know that will act well in the way we want to do our beautiful job at the club of Manchester United and beautify our summer transfer window. But if at all we are on the levels of discussing, then we are really badly off, I tell you. Right? I'm having Abib Arafat watching you live from Ghana. All right. Thank you for watching in from my brother. United should hurry up and get new players. Obviously, David Austin, not David Austin, it was Jacob's Ben, or David Austin, told us last week that United want to get into players before they go to the preseason. Yeah? And for me, those 2 players are supposed to be one central defender, and a CDM. Those are the first two players we have to bring in. You know, we already have a striker. Zirkzee can obviously come in through and really catch up on us later. You understand? But we have to first get in a defender in there for you. Then I'm having Kennedy Yusuf Fofana all the way. I love him, but I don't know whether United will obviously go for him as a player. Then Gono, who will then play the defense. I've told you that right now, as it stands, United wants to bring in Gerard Braithwaite. After bringing Gerard Braithwaite, they'll obviously look around to see which kind of defender they need to sell and get in the other. But if I get in Gerard Braithwaite and two teams coming through and they're giving me huge money or real money for Harry Maguire, like £30 million or 40, Lindelof like £15 million, I can welcome that total £50 million to obviously use it and get in another central defender. You understand? That's what I'm going to do as a club of Manchester United. So Gerard Braithwaite comes in right now because we want to get him in, and a decision is going to be made this week. Then we get in other defenders, because if you move on Harry Maguire and Lindelof, you'll be left with Lisandro Martinez, Camboala, and John Evans, meaning that we'll be needing two central defenders, and that's what exactly I want. If you get in Gerard Braithwaite, I know they can form a very good partnership with Lisandro Martinez. Then after, you get in another defender, you know, who can obviously do the job at the club of Manchester United. You understand? So we can get into defenders, two CDMs, Amrabat 1, Alvarez 2, Zirkzee. That will be a very perfect transfer window for the side of Ineos. And I think they would have gone ahead to score like a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 all 8 in their summer transfer window. Then Gono is telling me, to me, mid is okay with Casemiro for now. Let's sort the back and the striker. It's not good. Didn't you see how Casemiro fell off last season? Now, what makes you think that Casemiro is really going to be a better player this season or this coming season? I think we shouldn't risk. Even if you're talking about Casemiro, he's not going to be playing there alone. What if he gets injured? Is he going to play all the games? No way. We need another CDM to come and compete with this guy. Either if you're keeping Casemiro here, then you have to bring in Edson Alvarez or Amrabat. You know, we have to be having two players per position. That is it. Edson Alvarez was seriously injured. He won't come out of the hamstring injury soon. Edson Alvarez, right? Talk about his injury. Let's see his injury record. Injury history is really known. You know, we knew he really got injured, and his boss has gone ahead obviously issue an injury update. And let's see what he said about the guy. Manchester United, all right. I can only tell you that I'm focused on what I have to do. He said earlier this week. I know Copa America is very important. Speaking about his future. Then, all right, they went ahead to win the game. On Alvarez's impact, Lozano added, is extremely important. All right. Then let me see his injury list and see. He left the pitch injured. That is it. And he got a knock. He's not an injury-prone player because he hasn't been missing out ever since he started to play 2018-2019. He has missed out on only 3 games. You get 3 games. So we have to obviously assess the extent of the injury and see how he's really going to be really ready for the next stuff. So thank you for that update coming in through from the man himself, known as Gono, that the guy is injured. We have to sell to buy, but the players to sell are there, and teams to buy are there. For example, for Mason Greenwood, it's written all over the wall that teams are willing to offer us £40 million, and it's said that this deal is really going to be happening this week. So I think that should be done as soon as possible. You get teams like Juventus are negotiating for Jadon Sancho. Sell him off. Donny van de Beek, find a team to sell him off. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he has gone ahead to agree terms with Galatasaray. Sell him off. And let me really bring you the very, very bare minimum prices for these players. Let's count. Lindelof, 10 million pounds, right? Harry Maguire, 30. That is 40. Casemiro, 30 million pounds. That is 70 million pounds. Bissaka, 10 million pounds. That is 80. Greenwood, 40. 120 million pounds. You talk about Ericsson, 5 million pounds. You know, that is how much? Is it 140? You add on Donny van de Beek, you can sell him for 10 or 140. Talk about Sancho, even if you sell him for 40. I know the players that are up for sale that can collect United like close to 150 or 60 million pounds. And remember, for everyone who says that we need to sell to buy, do you know that the Snapdragon deal is coming in through? And Man United is going to be getting between 60 to 90 million pounds. That is going to impact our summer transfer window. The money is there. The money is there, I tell you. The money is there. And let no one lie to you that there is no money. You get? The money to kickstart off the summer transfer window is here. Because even if you say you have to sell to buy, how do you sell a player without finding his replacement? It's very easy for us to sell Mason Greenwood because we know to it that we are having 3 players at the club of Manchester United that can obviously play as right wingers. Amad Diallo, Garnacho, and Anthony. You get? Even Sancho, we can sell him because all his play, here he places he play, there are players hugely impacting those positions. You understand? So, I don't want to say to it that you people come out and obviously say that we need to sell to buy. Money is there. I tell you, a minimum of 100 million pounds is available for United to spend before they make sales. Meaning that if at all we make sales, we can extend that budget to 100 to 200 million pounds because we've not been when we never played in the Champions League, we spend huge. And this is the scenario that has been set by the club of Manchester United. Every time Manchester United goes ahead, obviously coming through and really plays into the league, doesn't qualify for the Champions League, they spend huge money in their transfer window. That is it. So, let's leave it at that. The only sellables are Greenwood. We are having sellable players. Harry Maguire is wanted by West Ham. Everton, they want him. Scott McTominay is wanted. Lindelof is wanted by Fenerbahce. Wan-Bissaka is wanted by Galatasaray. Sancho is wanted by Dortmund, though they are not willing to buy him now. They want to get him with an option to buy. And Juventus wants to pay cash for the player. Then Ericsson is wanted, is going to be taken. So we are having players that can be sold. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out. And you say, who pays Casemiro, Sancho, and Maguire wages? Now, Sancho doesn't want to return to Manchester United. And he has to obviously dance to that, unless otherwise apologizes. If he doesn't apologize, he'll have to leave the club of Manchester United and he has to take a pay cut. You understand? Because he says if Erik ten Hag keeps at Manchester United, he's not staying. And if he doesn't allow a pay cut, then he has to apologize to Erik ten Hag, a stance that he's really standing on till now. So he has to take a pay cut. Casemiro, I know he still wants to play football, and I know he still wants to play football and compete at a high level. At the age that Casemiro is really having, you can't tell me that everything of Casemiro is really over. Casemiro is 32 years of age. You get? And he made 32 in February. You tell me that Casemiro wants to go to Saudi Arabia. No. Bayern Munich wanted to sign him, but they haven't gone ahead to agree on terms. Juventus is looking in for him, and they are convincing him to go to Saudi Arabia, and I don't think that he wants to go to Saudi Arabia, and he knows to it that if he's to leave Manchester United, he has to obviously do the needful. And even if he stays, that means we can just get in an Amrabat, and when you get in an Amrabat, then that is done and dusted. Keep Casemiro and find means of really getting another midfielder. You understand? The other guy you're talking about is Maguire. For Harry Maguire this time round, I know Ineos can forsake. You need to make losses. You get Maguire at £30 million because you went ahead to have a very beautiful season. You can tell West Ham, we want £40 million for Harry Maguire, but you're going to get us only 30. £10 million are going to come in through and really do his wages. You understand? That can also be done that way. Gono, it's not compulsory that players take a pay cut. Casemiro said he wants to fight for his place. Maguire refused to pay. I understand what you're saying, but if a team of Man United tells Casemiro, we don't have you in our plans, and Erik ten Hag is not going to be using you, there is no way he will act like a Harry Maguire. Casemiro still wants to compete. He wants to play in the World Cup of 2026. You know, getting him out of the squad of the Copa America really meant a lot to him. And that was like a wake-up call for him to obviously understand I have to play the game of football. And as it stands, Man United need a more mobile midfielder. And Erik ten Hag will tell Casemiro, I tell you what, you are not so much into my plans. So, Casemiro, as a guy who wants to play football, he will say, let me look for a club. And if he doesn't, United will keep him around, not playing the game of football, and will get frustrated and will look for a club to go ahead and really play for. So, all those are problems that the Glazers went ahead to make, but I know, even if you don't sell Casemiro, Sancho, or Harry Maguire, there are players you can sell and obviously get money. I've told you, Lindelof is there, £10 million, Bissaka £10 million, Eriksen 5, that is 25, Greenwood 40, that is 65. You can get like 10 for Donny van de Beek. Which other player is up for sale? So even if you don't sell those, but I tell you this, if those players are not in good terms with the manager, they're gonna get sold. They're gonna get sold. I tell you this. So guys, let's also talk about Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay is one of those players that United really loved last season, and it said every manager who comes in the club of Manchester United obviously wants to keep Scott McTominay, but that wasn't the case with Erik ten Hag, because when Erik ten Hag came in through, you knew what happened. Erik ten Hag came up and said, I want to sell Scott McTominay. The reason that's why you never sold Scott McTominay, it's because United wanted £40 million and the side of West Ham was offering 30. Now, him being knocked out of the Euros, right? I believe United will obviously do the needful and obviously try to resolve the future. And we might see United selling a lot of homegrown talent because it's pure profit. West Ham is willing to offer £40 million for the club of Manchester United, you understand? And that means he will be one of those players that United can sell. Scott McTominay and Mason Greenwood can get you £80 million of profit in just a blink of an eye, and you will need that amount of money to come in through. So Scott McTominay's future is yet to be decided, and I don't know what United is going to be really like, but I think there are high chances of him leaving, because if, as Gunnar said, that Maguire, Sancho and Casemiro are hard for us to move on, then Scott McTominay will have to leave, because Ten Hag believes that he's not part of that player to play in the system of the club of Manchester United. So today, they've got to be knocked out, and you're waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix. Then Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka will fetch a combined £25 million, and who would you buy to at that price as an upgrade? Now, I was discussing this. United has, if they get £25 million from Bissaka and Lindelof, obviously will be left with Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, Camboala, and John Evans. You get, that means we'll be less by one central defender. You get Maguire, Lindelof, Evans, and Lisandro Martinez. Sorry, Maguire, John Evans, Camboala, and Lisandro Martinez. 4 defenders. We are left with 1. And remember, that one is Gerard Braithwaite that Man United has money to bring in. So I believe if we are doing like that and getting in one, and we're keeping Harry Maguire, decision is going to have to be made. I'm just insinuating or painting a picture. when you bring in Gerard Braithwaite, you'll be having 5 central defenders at the club of Manchester United, right? And you'll be lacking what we call a right back. And 25 million pounds, convert them to pounds to euros. Pounds to euros. Right? So 25 million pounds are 30 million euros. United will be just less by 5 million euros to get to land the deal of Frimpong. Remember the buyout clause of Frimpong is 35 million euros and 35 million euros? I think it's 35 million pounds. So will be less by just 10 million pounds to land the deal of that guy. Meaning that you bring in Gerard Braithwaite already because you have his budget. And because you have his budget, that means you'll only need to bring in a right back. And I'm of a view that we should get in another right back who can also pivot into the central defense and really perform there very well. Like season, we are looking at Pavard. That's my plan. And I don't know whether you're going to hit to get me very well. So it will depend on how Ineos are really going to make their decisions, but I know they're going to make some good footballing decisions for the club of Manchester United. So, Gono, thank you for watching in through. Kennedy, thank you for watching in through. Habib Arabat, thank you for watching in through. Chikwado Stefan, thank you for watching in through. Kakuru Vien, thank you for watching through. Thomas Donka, nice watching in through. And Kakuru Vian, thank you for watching in through. Guys, I call it an end of this live, and thank you for obviously being in here for you. And let's end this poll and see how you guys are gonna hit obviously coming through and really vote. So we are having Zirkzee, 88% of you are really saying we should get in Zirkzee, like me, and 11% are talking about Nicholas Fullkrug, meaning that everyone can be loved. Now Gono says Everton have sold the youth for £9 million and their PSR is sorted. They will stick to £70 million evaluation for Gerard Braithwaite. Do you think United will pay more than £50 million? No. Tomorrow morning, I'm bringing you a story of Matthias de Ligt, who is costing only £42 million, and Man United are willing to obviously go and get in Matthias de Ligt. You get? So, there are very many options around of central defenders. There is Diomane, you can get him at the same amount of money, £50 million. There is Goncalo Inacio. There is Lenny Yolo, though Lenny Yolo is still wanting to go to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid have come out and told him that please rest in a little bit, and we're going to come in through and obviously sign in. You understand? So, I don't want us to pay £70 million for this guy, and it said Man United, their ceiling is £60 million, and for me I feel it's too much. But they say they want to get in £50 million as Manchester United, and after getting in £50 million, right? £50 million, getting it in, and do the needful, and put on £15 million of add-ons. I think they're really achievable for the age of Gerard Braithwaite. And you're talking about de Ligt, £250,000 per week. I can give him that money. Why don't I give him that money? You get? Because he's young. De Ligt is like 24, 25 years of age. You get? And you want to keep a Harry Maguire, whom we offer that amount of money. And for me, money to de Ligt is not a problem. 24 years of age, he's not making 25 in August. Why not get him in? Because I know he's really going to do us better. And ask yourself, you've been having Harry Maguire, who has been earning £200,000 a week. You get? And he's a downgrade to Matthias de Ligt, and Matthias de Ligt is an upgrade. And when Matthias de Ligt is making a negotiation, he say, I'm better than Harry Maguire, and you've been offering him £200,000 a week. I want £250,000 a week. And I think it's a salary worth him. Look at the central defenders of Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes, I think he's earning close to £180,000 a week. Saliba, £200,000 a week plus. You understand? You know? A player of the quality of Matthias de Ligt and his experience, £250,000 is worth it. Because I know he's going to come in through and hit the ground running. You get? And we can negotiate a better deal than him. It doesn't mean that to persuade him to come to Manchester United, he needs to obviously pay. He needs obviously to be earning that amount of money, because Manchester United are going to be like helping him to revive his career. Bayern Munich wants him out. Bayern Munich wants him out. And at his age, he's not even playing in the Euros. He's not even playing in the Euros, right? And him not playing in the Euros, right? It means he has not been performing well at the club level. And Erik ten Hag will be like, come in at Manchester United. We are going to get you a salary of like £180,000 a week. You perform very well. We'll obviously increase you to the amount of money that you want. But right now, all you need is playing football. Under me, a manager that promoted you from the academy of Ajax to the main team. You understand? So, I think that is going to be really possible. He can really take a pay cut. But for me, £250,000 a week for him at Manchester United, that's not so much money because he's going to come in through and improve our central defense. You get? Him and Lisandro Martinez will be one of the perfect centre-back partnerships that will ever earn. But there is a very huge block. I think United want to bring in an English defender. And that's why a decision is said to be made this week on to whether they're keeping this guy or not. Now, you are saying me that we refuse to sign for free because of wages. Ineos said that he won't be paid. No, that wasn't the case. United wanted to sign, but the problem was to sign said United hadn't gone ahead to make a decision on who the manager is going to be, and Chelsea were running at him, and they're like, for us, we've gone ahead to make Enzo Maresca as our new manager, and for the club you want to play for, they haven't gone ahead to make that decision. What the hell? Do you want to go ahead and really play for a club like that? And it was like, it makes sense, let me go to Chelsea. But I tell you, if Erik ten Hag if Erik ten Hag's job was not hanging in balance, I tell you, we would have gone ahead to obviously get him something better. And Tosin would have gone ahead to send for the club of Manchester United. It wasn't for the wages. And I tell you, for a player who is coming in through as a free agent, he has a right to ask for the wage he wants because he's a free agent, and will ask you, if I had a contract with Fulham, how much are you going to pay for me? That is like £40 million, right? Now, get me a sign-on fee of £10 million, and I want a salary of £200,000 a week, which is okay. You are saving close to £30 million because the salary was going to be paid immediately. You understand? So I think that is okay. But Tosin was a good defender, but because Ineos miscalculated their Erik ten Hag decision and it fell back, it fell through because they knew they were going to sack him and Man City was going to beat us. But everything happened differently. We beat Man City. The fans were like, don't sack Erik ten Hag. He has to stay at the club of Manchester United. So that's what my thoughts are really telling me about it. Now you're telling for me, I'll go for Goncalo Inacio, who has a release clause of 50 million euros. Yeah, I like Goncalo Inacio for one reason. One, he can play as a left back. He can play as a central defender on the left-sided centre back. And we suffered a lot when Lisandro Martinez got injured. And we don't know whether he can really stand a full season. That is Lisandro Martinez. So I agree with you. I would go for Goncalo for 50 million, for 50 mil, quit. Go for him, get him in, and get in another central defender who is right-footed. But the reason as to why I want a right-footed central defender right now first is Varane left, and Erik ten Hag doesn't trust Evans to be fit because he's just 37 years of age. He can come in through and be an understudy for others and really provide some huge experience. Kambwala is young, you cannot trust him, but you'll know that he can do the job for the club of Manchester United, especially in the UEFA Europa League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. So I know why they're going in for Gerard Braithwaite. They're looking for a centre-back partnership of Gerard Braithwaite and Lisandro Martinez. And for the Manchester United, I know they are gonna really fight to get in Gerard Braithwaite. And I know this week is vital. It's going to be crucial for the deal of Gerard Braithwaite in there for you. So wait and see how things pan out. But Goncalo Inacio, very good call for me. I love him. I love the player in Goncalo Inacio. And he would settle in at the club of Manchester United well because of the Portuguese community already there. Portuguese and Brazilians always bond well. Bruno Fernandes Dalot can really do some good job on him to come at the club of Manchester United. Then McKay, Would you take João Felix at Manchester United? I would. Because he can play across all the three positions of the front line. Right forward, left forward, center forward. And he can play behind a central striker. So, I would take him at the club of Manchester United. That is it. He's available for like 60 million quid. Why don't we go in for him? I would be very okay with him coming through at the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I've responded to all your questions. I don't know whether you have any other question, but thank you for being part of this live. I'm calling in for reactions onto Dwight Yorke bashing the transfer of Zirkzee, bashing Rasmus Hojlund, and he called in for Fullkrug. Would you obviously go in for Fullkrug over a guy called Zirkzee? Here you voted for Zirkzee and not Fullkrug. And Scott McTominay. Would you sell Scott McTominay to get in money to use it to obviously take things to the next level? All that and more into the comment section below. Lastly, Wuro Samundin. Why give Evans a contract when he's 39? Evans is 36, 37 years of age, and keeping him for one more season is like having him for some games, like the UEFA Europa League, when you want to rest Lisandro Martinez and maybe Gerard Braithwaite if he signs for the club of Manchester United. And guys, you don't know how important he was. Every game he was there available, he did something needful. All we need is, let's move out another defender and get in two central defenders. Because for him, he's like a patch. You get? He's not gonna be the main man to play in the central defense for the club of Manchester United, but he's gonna be that fifth defender to come in if at all we are hit by an injury crisis. But all I want us to see get in are two central defenders before the summer transfer window comes to an end. Thank you for watching it through. Subscribe hugely to this channel. We are gonna be coming live more frequently to obviously discuss with you, because sometimes you people go into the comment section and in the videos I record and I cannot obviously respond to your questions. But this is a very good opportunity because me and you can share this together and really get to know what else can come into the mix. So guys, thank you. Wuro, thank you for coming in through. I think the first time I'm seeing you on this channel. I don't know whether you are a usual to this channel, but endeavor to keep it up by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Guys, I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rock, and David is my name. Guno says Evans is a good leader, is good for leadership, home ground quote, and is just on 65k per week and can be moved to coaching. Yeah, it says that he's gonna be becoming a coach and he's really good. And United are looking at retaining him. That is it. And the leadership, the experience, instilling the right character into the players of Manchester United to know exactly what made United great. That's why the first video I recorded today, I talked about Ruud van Nistelrooy, and I was very excited about his appointment and I was very excited about his appointment or approach to come at Manchester United, and it's pending his approval, because you get in Ruud van Nistelrooy, part of the management team, and Evans, part of the players, then they can easily get back the culture into the club of Manchester United and instill it into those players very well. Would you keep Mason Greenwood? You've always gonna hate to know my stance. I would love to keep Mason Greenwood, but the external factors are not allowing United to keep Mason Greenwood. That is it. He's a very good player, but there is no way you can obviously come in and say you're gonna keep him, because the world won't really like it. You understand? The fans are divided. There are those that want him to stay. There are those that don't want him to stay. And for Manchester United, in a situation where they need to sell players and make money, getting money to sell, they have to sell him. But I would keep Mason Greenwood on any day at the club of Manchester United. So guys, allow me go to bed. Such that 3-4 hours from now I'm awake and I'm really uploading the first story in here. All else, I can even go for a live video onto this beautiful channel of ours. It's nice watching you. Doing this live with you. I think you're gonna hit to enjoy this session. 1 hour video. Do you have anything
to ask me. Gono is saying Greenwood is definitely going. Obviously, he's leaving the club of Manchester United. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And he's going to be sold. And it's said this week is going to be crucial into his deal. Gerard Braithwaite and Mason Greenwood deals are going to be happening this week. If there is anything to happen at the club of Manchester United to expect this week, Gerard Braithwaite, Mason Greenwood, United might see one player leave, one player coming in through. Bye-bye. It's a 5-finger salute to everyone watching in through. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. I've enjoyed your company, guys.